Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, or is it? Because you might have noticed that I renamed the channel just to Comics Matter, and also privated all but the 100 most popular, well, it's like the 99 most popular videos, and then I included this recent one about Cena Grace, because there was a lot of Iceman Cena Grace stuff in there, so I was like, oh, this matches quite well. But anyway, yesterday was a sad day, but in kind of a beautiful way, in that I got news within or at least I saw it an hour. So first of all, I finally got a confirmation from a comic book store owner who I've known for years that this TikTok crowd, this very enthusiastic crowd of people in their 20s and early 30s, it's what he's seeing in his store. He's like, the old guys are gone, and it's a bunch of people in their 20s now. And this was great because, I've been seeing it, but it's been, what's that word? Not apocryphal, circumstantial. It's like, but it's a lot of circumstantial. It's like every day, not even actively looking for it, I will see like 30 accounts of just regular people just, hey, I went to the comic book store and here's my comics. Hey, I just read this comic. I just read Alpha Flight. And it's people in their 20s, early 30s. It's literally, and it's, so I see that and I was like, that's really cool. And then within an hour, I see that the owner of the last comic book store that I really went to on a regular basis, he passed away. And so this is Myth Adventures. This was, it was on 10th Street, and I think it's Nolana. So the 10th Street was the best comic book store I ever went to. And they moved, and I think it was because there was this nightclub that, well, it was a bar, but the bar basically acts like a nightclub, and it starts like pounding its music at like 6 p.m. So it made it, if you went to the store after work, it sucked because like as soon as it was 6 p.m., it's like, so they moved around the corner to a much larger area. But this was around COVID time, so COVID interruption, and then things just weren't great in comics, so I stopped going. But for a few years there, this was my shop. And I'm not going to be one of those people to pretend like he was my best friend. He was the friendly old comic book store owner, which I've talked before about when I was when I first started getting into comics. Like, well, they were old, which means they were like 36, but it was like all of these like gruff but also friendly conservative hippies. I don't they were all veterans. Like even after the days of the draft, they were like all veterans. So this is the his name was Helgi Davis, and it turns out that he was from Iceland. I never knew that. Now, this is a very heavily Hispanic area. I think it's like 80-90%. So seeing a white guy, to me, is always strange. And he always made me think of like John Carpenter. Again, one of those like conservative hippie types that kind of are disappearing. So it's, they say, it breaks my heart today to say that Helgi, Myth's founder and our grandpa, has died. If you ever met Mr. Helgi Davis, you should consider yourself lucky. He was one of a kind and he was brilliant. For over 30 years, Myth Adventures, although everyone here just called it Myth, because that was on the site to say Myth. That's a good title, though. For a pun title, that's a good one. Myth Adventures. That's actually really good. He had the time of his life creating this space. He loved the hard work because it wasn't work to him. He was crabby, and I loved him for it. It was one of the best parts about him. He cared deeply for his customers and often went out of his way to make sure they got everything they wanted. He could do more work than 5 people combined. His mind was sharp. His personality was charismatic. He was enchanting and silly. He pretended he was annoyed to be on camera, but he loved it and he was good at it. He forgave easily. I want you to know that Helgi died with his family by his side. He wasn't ever alone. He lived a great life with my grandma, his daughter, grandchildren, and friends by his side. Our hearts will carry him with us wherever we go, whatever we do. Myth misses you and will never be the same without you, but we will try to make you proud. Grandpa, please know we love you very much, and the world was better with you in it. So it was a real, like, I mean, it hit me like a lightning bolt, which is actually not good for you, I mean, technically. But it was like, it was a real, like, sunrise, sunset moment where, like, something I've been noticing and I got very, very excited about, but I hadn't seen it personally, like in a store, because I haven't been going to the stores. And I talked about, it's like, I got to get back into the stores, like, hey, get on me if I don't. But honestly, it was my age. It's like I'm 51, I'm almost 52. I haven't gone to a store for like 5 years. I mean, I went a couple times just to buy like bags and boards for, I think it was Expendables Go to Hell, but like once or twice in 5 years. And so like, I kind of like froze up. I was like, I feel so weird. It's like half a decade. Like, do you remember Superman Returns, the Brandon Routh one from like 20 years ago? And like he goes back to the Daily Planet and he's been gone for 5 years. That's, but they act like it was a sabbatical. It's like, oh, Clark is back. It's like, you mean Clark got rehired? He was gone for half a decade. That's not a sabbatical. That's just you quit and did other things. So I've kind of been freezing up, with like, it's going to be so weird to go back in there. And I wish I would have. It would have been really nice to see Helgi. I didn't know his name. He was just the old white guy. That's what I called him in my mind. But I don't know if he was, working right up until the end. But to really get hit with this like double lightning bolt of like that new generation is real. And I think it's a combination of things. I think it's a combination of Marvel Rivals, Ultimate, the new Ultimate, Absolute, especially. I really think it's Absolute, Marvel Rivals, and then Superman and Fantastic Four coming out and looking like they're going to be really good. And so this has always been the dream. Because before it just happened, there would always be like a next generation. And then there kind of wasn't. They tried to like, I don't know, like interrupt the system, And it gets complicated with like, the newsstand going away, and that was an entry point. But then they kind of, they spent like 5+ years trying to get this audience that they didn't get. But now they got one that's it's the best of both worlds. So it's a young audience in their 20s, early 30s, very enthusiastic, but this is the craziest part. You know what they like? Alpha Flight, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Superman. They like just regular comics, just regular mainstream comics. And they ask these questions, and it's adorable. They're like, this Alpha Flight comic, I think some of these storylines are from other books. And it's like, I'm pretty sure they have the footnote, but maybe they don't know to look down there. And so I found myself in this weird position where I'm almost exactly, I'm going to guess this guy was late 70s, and I'm going to guess this new generation is late 20s on average, mid-late 20s. And I'm right there in the middle. So just as I've been kind of, I don't know, it's definitely a transition period, because for a while they had the whole SJW thing, and that's run its course. And now there's this wonderful, and I wonder if, it's weird calling him his names. I'm just going to call him the Myth Adventures guy, because that's what I called him in my head. Did he get to see the beginning of that new generation? I feel very happy to say that I think he did. So I decided to do something I've never done before. I did paid promotion. It hasn't been approved yet. Apparently it takes like a day. So I wanted to conduct an experiment. So I basically winnowed the channel down to 100 videos. because 100 makes it easy to do math, And also, I don't want to overwhelm the same person who's like, I think these Alpha Flight stories are in other books. I don't want to be like, here's 4,000 videos and all. Like, just 100. People can wrap their mind around 100. And so I picked one kind of in the middle of popularity. And I was like, I'm just going to promote this one. And the very simple experiment is, can I get that one to pass the next most popular book? This is just a simple test of, does promotion work? And if it does, then I plan on using it specifically to get this new audience of people who are very excited about comics. And I can't tell you like how nice it is to see this thing, because it's funny. Like it's people in their 20s. So yeah, some of them have colored hair or whatever, but like they just want to read. And if you think about it, comics is a really cool hobby. It's something you go to a store every week. There's new comics, there's old comics. I know people talk about the price, but have you gone to any drive-through? Like, you're going to spend, for one person, you're going to spend like $8 to $11. Maybe more. God, what was this place? Hop Dotties. I was in Corpus. I went to Hop Dotties. Not even a delivery. I walked in. And it was a burger, a shake. The fries it was kind of funny because they were like, and some fries. They're like, oh, this kind of fry? And you're like, yeah. Like, I didn't study. I'm just going to say yeah. Like, but apparently they had launched this new like fries for the entire table thing. And so everybody was falling for it and ordering it individually. So it was kind of hilarious. You saw like these salad mixing bowls full of fries on everybody's table. So that like added like an extra $10. But for a soda, shake, too much fries, and a burger, $32. Now I almost walked out, except for that would make me look like I don't have $32. But even if you subtract the too much fries, it gets down to what, like $25? $25. People were like, was it good? I was like, no, it wasn't. Because every bite, I paid $32, motherfucker. I was so angry. But despite that, comics are quite affordable. $4 to $5 for a floppy. And if it's a good floppy, like this Spider-Man Wolverine with Guggenheim and Kari Andrews, man, I would recommend that to anyone. And I have a platform to do so. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I've never done this promotional campaign before. I limited it. They like automatically set it to like $200. I was like, whoa, let's do 20, and then I'll add more money to it. I did a promotional campaign, paid promotion for Expendables Go to Hell. Really not understanding Facebook ads. I had someone kind of walking me through it, but not all the way. And if I remember correctly, it did lead to sales, but the price of the promotion basically ate up the profit of all the additional sales. Now, I justified it by saying this is getting me new customers and for the next book and on and on. And it was just so funny, like, to get hit with this one too of like, new generation is in the comic book shop, old generation just passed away, and I'm right there in the middle. So I was like, first I'm going to see if this promotion actually works, and then because there is on the Google Studio Analytics, it does tell you age of who's watching your channel, and so first of all, see if this actually gets that audience. Second, if that audience is even on YouTube at all. I'm assuming they are to some extent. It's so funny to see. Like I said, it's very, very positive on Comics Talk, as they say it. But what's his name? Is it Benny from Comics Explained? he, oh God, that's not the other guy, is it? Oh my God, that's a terrible brain fart of his. The Comics Explained guy. Um, he's getting static. Now it seems like he's kind of like exaggerating it, but he's like, he's like, TikTok is so toxic, and it really isn't. But then I looked into like what he considers toxic, and the people on TikTok, again, people in their 20s and 30s, they don't like story time. Like they find it ridiculous. It's like, why is this grown man reading a story to me? I can literally just buy it or pirate it. Like, I know how to read. And he's like, but I do voices and there's sound effects. It's like, you're lame. So he's all triggered about it because he's not getting treated, when he goes like, they don't think that's cool on TikTok. They're like, I'm grown, I don't need you to read a comic book to me and go like whoosh when Superman flies. But very, very excited. Probably more excited I am about the future of comics than I have been in years. Maybe you don't understand. Like, there's something about this, and I've talked about this when I've watched like there's whole YouTube channels about like just man on the street interviews from like the 1970s, 1960s, whatever, and there's this word that always, like, whenever I see these people, I think the word clean. Because there's something, like, they have bright eyes, they stand up straight, they're kind of confident but humble at the same time. It's kind of a weird thing that doesn't exist anymore. But I see it in this new generation. Like, they're not talking about culture war. They are so unaware that any culture war happened. And you can tell it because they will sometimes talk about culture war topics as if they're the first person to ever talk about this. Like, they think they just discovered it. And so, like I said, even though these people are in their 20s and early 30s, I'm always like, oh, I didn't know. Like, they're just kind of like clean, happy, bright, smart people with enough disposable income, which is basically like McDonald's cheeseburger cost to get a comic. So I think I'm rambling right now because I'm so excited about this. But there is a new generation. It has been proven. It's not just a myth. And the old generation passed away, beloved, and things are pretty damn great right now. So I'm just trying to figure out my place in it. I feel like I can be that guy who can do a video. It's like, hey, I saw someone confused about Alpha Flight. Here it is. Here's North Star. I won't do sound effects. You all are grown. You can read it for yourself. But, just maybe explain something like the footnotes box at the bottom. And then you see that, the asterisk, and then you go read the other book. And very, very excited. Very, very excited about the future of comics. Anyway, thanks for watching.